today is all about character design, and we're gonna start with a classic Looney Tunes cartoon, because this is a Chuck Jones class. And how many of you I can see you all on screen, so with a raise of just regular hands, how many of you have seen Robin Hood Daffy? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. 3, 4 people? 5? All right, maybe 5 people. So we are going to watch Robin Hood Daffy today, which is awesome. And then we're going to get into character design. And I like your Stitch is a favorite. The book of the day is Chuck Redux, right? This is his second autobiography. So if you guys check this out, I'm going to show you some, like what we're going to do here today in character design. I'm going to take right out of this book right here. So Chuck Redux is an awesome book on just his whole way of thinking and then character development. All right, so if ever anybody else comes in, they'll get to see it. So I'm just going to give you the lay of the land. We're going to watch Robin Hood Daffy, right? Acclimate ourselves to some Chuck Jones nuttiness. It's about 6.5 minutes long. We have muted everybody, all right? So everybody will stay muted until the cartoon's over. So just in case you're like trying to hit your unmute button and it's not unmuting. So we're going to watch this cartoon, and then we're going to get into some character design. So I need the magician Scott to go ahead and roll footage, please. All right. So classic Chuck Jones, right? Robin Hood Daffy. I love that cartoon. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm working on a painting right now for Robin Hood Daffy. So let's get into some stuff. But before I do that, somebody guessed something yesterday. You know the rule, right? Nobody says anything because this event is Saturday night. Scott will not say a word because Scott is going to have a memory lapse right now. But on Saturday night, we have Red Dot, right, which is this whole charity auction with a whole bunch of people that donated art pieces of artwork. And Samantha may or may not have gotten this correct. So this is the painting I donated for Red Dot. Samantha wins, right? So have just a show of hands, who has seen The Mandalorian? All right, so a good amount. So you know that Baby Yoda likes to eat frogs, right? So I have him levitating Michigan J Frog with a little salt and pepper for some flavor. And then Marvin the Martian is my Mandalorian. So this is going up for auction on Saturday night. So nice job, Samantha. I don't know how you guessed that, but that was pretty dead on out of all those pieces. All right, so let's get into some character design. So Tuesday, right, we started our storyline of things. And we're going to build off that now into designing out some characters. So did you guys get, I uploaded this today. If you have this, great. If not, all you have to do is draw 6 lines on a piece of paper. So most people have this, I see. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to get into character design based on the stories that we started writing. So what I wanted to show you was in Chuck Redux, which apparently Carson has that's right, Carson, you won a whole bunch of stuff that day. That was pretty awesome. So I'm going to show you what Chuck did in his character breakout. So this is why we have the line paper. So as you can see, when Chuck was doing his character design for like Marvin the Martian, he was showing what the character looked like forward, what a profile was, and then what Marvin looked like right from the back. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to concentrate on one character, or if we're moving fast, we can do 2, and doing like a front view and a side view of that character. Why are we wanting to do that? Well, in making our own cartoon, and I'm going to pull up one more example. In making our own cartoon, your character is not always going to be looking straight at your face, right? So you want to know what that character is going to look like as they turn and turn around. So let's get into Wiley, Coyote, and Roadrunner. All right, so let's get into Roadrunner. So as you can see here, right, Roadrunner, if you take the circle as his head for a guide, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads high, is about Roadrunner, right? and you can see what it looks like straight on in a profile view right here. And that way animators and stuff get a good idea of what the character looks like all around. So we're going to dive into that today. And again, if you're just jumping on this, Chuck Redux, your local library might have a digital version of this that you can check out, and you might be able to find this online. It is a fantastic read. It's all about Chuck's philosophies on animation, characters, and that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to do was start in on this and take your first character, right? So mine is going to be one of my monkeys, right? And I'm building off the storyline that I had from Tuesday. So everybody kept your stories, right? You all kind of knew where you were going. Maybe you modified a little bit even since then, and that's okay. So if you're new to this, and you're jumping on, what we did on Tuesday was we created a storyline for ourselves, because over the next like 6 weeks or so, we're gonna have all the makings of our own cartoon. So we're getting into background design, we're getting into character design, which is stuff we're doing today. We're getting into storyboarding, and then we're going to actually do little flip book animations, right, of part of a scene. And so we're going to kind of bring our cartoon to life. But we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so yesterday was all about like the character starting out, right, and then getting into like some kind of scenario where they kind of had a trial, right, how they overcome that trial and are triumphant. So yeah, it's okay if you change the whole thing, right? You could have changed the whole story between now and then. And I actually have 2 storylines. So I realized I did one a while ago, and I think it's even a little bit better than my monkey one. So today we're going to take the characters and we're going to start to design that out. And then the whole idea in this too is doing this as a group, is sharing our kind of production as we're going, right? Which I think is super awesome, because all of you guys do a great job of commenting on everybody else's stuff. And it's just cool to see everybody's thing, because this is our own cartoons. This is like you're copying what I'm doing. So as we get into it and you have your sheet here, what we want to figure out, and remember shape language. So we're taking a whole bunch of classes that we've done before, and circles, right? So circles are a little friendlier, right? Cuter, a little bit more of an approachable character when we're using circles. So like what we just saw in Robin Hood Daffy, did you notice that like Porky is made up of like circles and ovals, right? And he's kind of a jovial person, very friendly, you know, the whole laughter, joyful thing fits right in. And we get into triangles. Triangles are a little bit more devious and mischievous, right? We kind of associate more triangular shapes with villainous characters. And then we have like squares and rectangles, so boxier shapes. Dude, yes, you're doing great. Just give me a second. So the boxier shapes, right, are a little bit more dependable, right? Or, you know, think of like Henchman or like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove, stuff like that. So we're going to get into our character design today. What I want you to start with, and what you're thinking, you don't have to have a name for the character yet. If you don't have a name, that's fine. But I want you to take your main character from your story, and whether you revamp the whole thing or you're going off your one from Tuesday, I want you to, and if you're new to this, you want to kind of process, maybe you had a story in mind that you had, or you've been thinking about, what would that main character look like? And so what I want to do on this sheet of paper is I want to see a front view and a side view of that character. So that's what we're going to get into. So everybody's got your paper. I'm going to be sketching here as I'm going. You guys can sketch what you are, your main character, mine. I'm going to stick with the monkey on this one.
Ben, I want to spotlight Simeon real quick, and there's a couple comments in the chat. Simeon's had his hand raised.
Yes. What's up,
Oh,
dude?
I didn't have my hand raised.
Oh, okay. I guess that was from earlier. Sorry. There are a couple questions in the chat about before we start animating, are we going to talk about smear frames?
We'll get into like squash, stretch, and all that kind of stuff as we get down closer to flipbook animating. All right, well, like doing an actual flipbook animation. So right now we're going to concentrate on character design, but yes, we will go over some key principles in animation as we get into where we start to do our flipbook, right? And we actually make motion happen. So today is all about our character development and design. And so figure if this is like a 6 heads high thing, and I gave kind of the Roadrunner as an example, how many heads is your character? So if I were to do, say, my monkey is like 3 heads, right? 3 heads tall. So I've got his body, which kind of intersects here. And then I've got his feet down here, right? So if I'm just going to go basic shapes in my main character design, mine looks like this, and that's how I'm starting out, right? And I'm going to have like a front view of my character. So my sight line is going to be right down the middle. So while you're sketching out your main character, right, think of the front view. What does that character look like if they're staring straight at you? All right.
Someone was asking what paper, and I put the link in the comments to the website where you can download this paper,
Perfect. Thank you.
this PDF.
Yeah, and if you want to, if you're unable to print it out, it can just be like 6 like lines equally spaced on a sheet of paper. So in anatomy, I've got my kind of character's elbows right at about where his rib cage would be, and his wrists kind of come down around this line. So this is if the character is staring straight at you, right? Our main character. What that looks like. So what I totally dig about Chuck's character design is, again, remember, kind of keep pushing this whole like draw from reality thing. So the better you can learn to draw real life, the better you'll be able to draw your cartoon characters or your superhero characters, your comic book characters, really anything. Because once you understand anatomy, like the whole idea behind animation, right, is you're kind of imitating life and exaggerating it. So there's got to be some level of believability to it to really make an impact. All right, so my main character is kind of like a Navy captain, right? Which is why his name is Admiral. Also keep in mind, like when you're designing out your character, you can like, my lines are kind of super, like I'm drawing over and I'm keeping it light as I do it. But it's okay if you have like multiple lines. Every line does not have to be perfect when you're kind of sketching this character out, just like those examples I showed you from Chuck, right? He's got a whole bunch of lines. He picked his final line, so which is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of lightly sketching out my character design. And then I'll go back and I'll darken up what my final lines are going to be. So remember, we're bringing what we learned in shape language into this for character design. And tonight we're doing a whole Facebook Live thing on the Chuck Jones page. And I'm going to go do a tour of the studio here, and then I'm going to paint Dino the dinosaur that I started, and I'm going to work on that tonight along with my Robin Hood Daffy piece. And that's at 6 o'clock Central. Thank you. So a lot of times too, and like it took me like 7 or 8 different designs of this guy before I finally landed on something that I wanted to do. So if in your first rounds at character design, maybe it's not totally coming out. I'm going to see if I can find the early, while you guys are sketching that out, I'm going to see if I can find the early sketches of the Roadrunner, which doesn't, like it looks kind of different from what the Roadrunner turned out like. Scott, you don't happen to have that one. Do you know what image I'm talking about?
I know what image you're talking about, but I don't have it on this computer.
No, that's fine. I'll have to pull some stuff for next time too that we can show, because it's pretty cool to see, like, as Chuck developed the character, what he started out looking like and then what he ended up looking like. Let's see if I can find it real quick. No, I don't think it's in this book. maybe it's in Chuck-a-Muck. So once we're gonna spend until about 2:30 on our front view of our character, so about another 5 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the profile view of that character. And after we do the profile view, so from the side, then we'll go ahead and for anybody that wants to show their character, which I would encourage everybody to do, but you don't have to. We'll go around the circle like we usually do, and then you can kind of describe your character a little bit and what kind of personality they have. Yeah, I don't think it's in this one either. I'll have to find it. It's pretty interesting. Oh, here it is. So this was one of the first, if you guys can see that image right there, this is one of the first model images that Chuck designed for the Roadrunner. So you go from that design right there, right, to what you finish with, which is what we know a little bit more of, which is that dude. So kind of a difference, right? So the whole point to that being, we can go through several different kind of variations of our character design as we move through. And I'll say, as you're we're building into our own cartoon thing, keep in mind those simple shapes, kind of the anatomy of your character. So I heard yesterday, was it Rhiannon's class, Scott, that you were the master subject of? Or is that Lee's?
First one's right.
Was it Rhiannon?
Rhiannon's.
I saw all the sketches you did of Scott. Man, that was awesome. Which means we're going to have to include Scott down the road here in more of this, because I think that is a fantastic idea. All right, so we're kind of getting our profile view here, or I'm sorry, our forward view. Give it a couple more minutes. Oh, there it is. See? Yes. Look at you, man. Scott, you've been immortalized. I love that. So I got a screenshot yesterday in my email after the class was over and shared with Lee and Rhiannon and myself, and I thought that was brilliant. Way to be a good sport, Scott. So Chuck used, I never understood, I never knew about Blackwing pencils, right? So this is a Blackwing pencil. And Scott, here's how ridiculous. Like Chuck drew with these all the time, right? He would draw with these Blackwing pencils all the time. I never knew that you could do this with the eraser. And I have worn the eraser when I used to have like some of my ones, I would wear the eraser down and I'd be like, oh shoot, I don't have an eraser anymore. I had no idea you just slide the thing out and you can bring the eraser up and then pop it back in. Do you know how many pencils I wasted, Scott?
I love Blackwings. So cool.
Blackwings are cool. So Blackwing pencils, you can get it pretty much like Blick Art Materials or wherever, Blackwing site. Blackwings are like candy.
Couple hands up. Here's Kat.
Yes, Kat.
So I have a question.
Yes.
It's how should I go about drawing like a really thin character, like one without much depth?
You mean so like a skinny character?
Kind of like a butterfly, my character.
Okay, so does your butterfly have like kind of like a personality as far as like eyeballs and stuff like that, or is it more of just a traditional butterfly?
It's got eyeballs.
So if you were to take, all right, hold on, let's come back to this for a second. All right, if you were to come back and do, and I don't know, maybe depends on, well, that's fine. We'll just do this. So maybe we would start with a couple of these shapes, right? So here's my sight line, right? And I've got a circle and an oval. We'll just bring that down a little bit more. There we go. And maybe, now is your butterfly friendly?
Yes.
Okay, so the butterfly is friendly, right? Does your butterfly have a nose, a mouth, or just a mouth, or no mouth? Like, what does your butterfly have?
My butterfly has a mouth.
Okay, your butterfly has a mouth. All right. What other features does your butterfly have? What kind of personality character traits?
My butterfly has curly antenna because I like those.
Ooh, all right, curly antenna. All right. What else?
And big wings.
Okay, so let's say, does it have arms and legs?
Oh, yes.
All right, so we'll do for now, just so I know where they are. All right, and it has big wings. So maybe, and I don't know, this is something that you can kind of do. So maybe I would start with something like this, right? And then I could basic shapes, and then I could go for my basic shape here, which is basically just a trapezoid. And I could use that as the wings, and that's what I could start for my butterfly. And then if it's got clothes or if it has a pattern or something on it, you could add that to it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So there is my forward view of my monkey.
Soren has his hand up.
Soren, yes, buddy.
So yesterday, lots of people drew Scott. So Amin tried to draw Scott, but he couldn't. But then he made him like a character on Nintendo and added weapons.
I saw that. That was pretty hilarious.
And it looks kind of like a lot like Scott.
Smash character.
Right, Scott's our favorite. All right, so go ahead and as you're doing, like, get that profile view of your character. So we have this as a guide, right? So my guide is still here, which means that I have a circle for me that fits right in here, and then one that kind of goes halfway. And then I've got feet for the monkey. Right, so it kind of comes up through there. So go ahead and you can add your profile view. So in this case, I will not have a sight line going down this way because he's looking forward. All right, so this is a basic, you're only going to see from one angle. You got to keep in mind like where ears and stuff are placed, and sometimes this for me used to be and still is kind of tricky sometimes getting that, kind of figuring out what that view is from the side. Sculpting helps. So if anybody likes to sculpt stuff, sculpting is a great way to figure out different dimensions of character. So it's got kind of that shaggier beard. I don't know where that came from. All right, and then so we're just kind of figuring out what our character looks like from the side. I guarantee you will end up using something like this in your like what you do with your character, your production, if you will. He's got a belt. So his pants, and then Again, I'll do where I start off and just keep it very light. And then I'll go in and add my darker lines. So that my character kind of looks like this. And all I'm doing is a little bit of shading. So he's got some fur on the top of his feet, but you can't really see it from the front. All right, so that would be like my front view, and that would be my side view of my character, right? And two, what's great too is you can kind of work out, like, do they sit a little forward? Does it sit a little back? Like, where are the legs in respect to everything else? Let's see if I can pull one more example here out of Chuck's. I wonder if I can get his Daffy. His Daffy looked pretty awesome. And show you what it looks like in transition. Oh, actually, we'll go Bugs. So this is Chuck Jones, Bugs Bunny. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see both pages. All right, so you can see he's got his front view, his side view. You see his, like, in his tail, actually, his back kind of curves out a little bit and sticks down. You got his back view here. And then he gives you the breakdown on how that character, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, in 4 heads, how that character looks, which is what I love about this. So this is what we're doing today and how that translates to what Chuck did in creating our own characters. And then eventually we get into like a 3/4 view, which is like this, or a 1/4 view, which is the other side. And here's one with Daffy Duck. We'll go Elmer Fudd. Or not. I'm telling you, this book is chock full of awesome stuff. Here, we'll do Porky the Pig. So if we look at Porky, right, we've got his front view, his side view, and then like a 3/4 view. So we can see, based on the shape of his head, kind of see that curve. That's kind of what I figured out in my monkey was, if I'm looking at him from the side, it's not like a perfect round circle. It kind of comes out a little bit and then goes up. So you can kind of get an idea of that. All right, as you guys are working through your main character design, maybe your character right now has a name, maybe he doesn't. It's okay if he doesn't. As we build on to that cast, so we're going to kind of add characters as we go to next week, and we get into kind of some layout. So would anybody like to, we've got 20, let's see, 1, 2, 3, we have like 28 or 29 of us today. So would anybody, if you would like to show progress of your character, just put up your digital blue hand, because we can't always see like a physical raised hand. You can put up your digital blue hand, and we will start to make our rounds as you guys are working on your character, your main character. Scott, I'm going to let you run this, and you tell me who we've got coming up.
All right, first up is Sophie.
Sophie. Sweet, man. That's awesome.
I've never drawn a body to him before.
And look at how great you did. That totally makes sense. So does your character have a name yet, or is that something you're working on?
His name is Nick Fury.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It is Nick Fury the cat. Can I see it one more time with the eye patch? That's awesome. Love it, man. Love it. Good job. Now let's see what that profile view looks like.
Yeah, I was coloring.
I love it. I love the color and stuff too, man. That came out great. Cool. Does it help to have the lines so that you can kind of structure your character?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, right. Easy way to kind of pull that off so that it doesn't feel like you're floating out there. Very cool, man. Thank you, Sophie.
Right. Evie's next.
Evie. What's up, dude?
So this is my character.
Sweet. Can you put it a little closer for me? That is awesome. I love the profile view as well, man.
Thank you.
Very cool. Did it help to have the lines to kind of give you a little structure? Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. I like to do the same thing when I'm developing stuff. All right. Awesome job, Evie.
Going to Cassidy.
Cassidy.
This is my character. Hold on.
Yeah, we might want to turn off the. All right. Yep, you're good now. We can see it. Oh, what's up, dude? Do I sense a little Minecraft?
Yes.
I like it. Good job on your forward-facing view and your profile, man. That came out great. Love the color also.
Thanks.
Creeper. There you go. I was searching for the name. Nice job, man. I dig it. Way to go. All right, Scott. Where to next?
Not sure of the name.
Is this Caden?
Caden?
Yeah.
Caden, what's up, buddy? Sweet. Hold that a little closer to me so I can see it. Nice.
It's a real life.
You what?
It's a real life character to match my story.
I love it, dude. I love the profile view also. That came out great, man. So does your character have a name? Or not yet. Not yet. That's fine. That's fine. Very cool, man. Thank you, Caden.
Yeah, I drew the back of another art too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Way to make the most use out of a sheet, man. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, here's Nissy.
Hey, Missy.
Okay, so my character's name is Darth Yoda.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I love it. He went to the dark side.
Yes.
I love that. Can I see the mask one more time too?
Oh, I tried very hard. It was like super hard to do.
That's awesome though, man. You totally have the features down, and I love the fact that his ears pop out on the sides.
Thank you. So
That is cool.
I like this one better than this one. That one was kind of weird.
You know what though? Like sometimes especially when we do like a front-facing view, it can be very easy for us to think of that. But then when we have to rotate it, and I think you did fine on both, man, because they're gonna look a little different no matter what. You did great. Thanks, Missy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jumping over to Isaac.
Isaac, what's up, buddy?
Hey there. So, I didn't use the paper because I had already gotten started on something like that
Sweet.
a couple of days ago. So
About yours.
this actually started, I think, in Rhiannon's class, maybe Lee's, where we were drawing Marvin the Martian.
Yes.
And she mentioned that she thought that Marvin was partially inspired by a black ant. So I decided to take that idea and kind of run with it. And so I created this.
I love that, man. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Okay.
I love the profile. Like both views come out and they translate very well.
Yeah.
Awesome
Good
job,
to
Isaac.
hear.
Way to go, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, next up is Jack.
Jack, hey, buddy. All right, my man. Let's see what you got. Look at your character. So tell me about yours, because I don't want to assume. Tell me about your character.
I actually copied this.
Let's see. Oh, all right. You did a great job. So you got your own Bugs Bunny going.
Yeah.
Well done, man. Hey, where did you get that sheet at? Did you get that one offline? Did you download that
I
one?
think that was from Rhiannon's class.
Was it?
Yeah.
Sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that sheet. Awesome job, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Here's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
So I'm not done with, I'm gonna do the profile view after this, but I'm still working on the front view, but this is my character so far.
Wow, dude. I dig it. So can you tell me a little bit about your character?
Her name is Grace, and she's a dragon girl, and basically, her story is basically that her mom is supposedly dead, but she got hit by a car and then she died, but she really is just living in this town of all these dragon people. And then one day they find her in this city, and then the rest of the story I'm still coming up with.
That's all right,
yeah.
man. That
Her
is
hair is white and her eyes are blue.
wow.
And she has blue and white horns.
That is awesome. Well, when we get into full color mode on this, I am totally looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Good job, Laura.
Jumping over to Tater Tot.
Tater tot. Woo-hoo. All right, buddy. Let's see what you got. That's cool. Tell me about your character, man.
So the top one is Pip. He's about 4 feet tall. He wears a little poncho, and he really wants to be a hero. So he's running around trying to defeat monsters, typically not doing so well with that. And then the bottom one, Crow, is a little winged monster creature that can't fly right now because of an wing. Wait, give me a sec so I can speak.
Okay.
A wing injury.
Aha.
So he can't fly, and Pip finds him and it's like, battle me, I want to defeat you. And Crow's just like, no. And then the entire story is just Pip trying to get Crow to fight him.
That's awesome. I love the shapes and stuff that you picked too, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very cool. Thank you, Tater Tot. All right, where are we rolling?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, what's up, buddy?
All right, here's my Jeff the Ninja.
Oh, yes. I love Jeff the Ninja. Look at that. Way to go, man. You know what I love too in the shoes is he's got that that Acme style, that Looney Tune style dot on his shoe. That's awesome.
I got inspiration from the Marvin drawing because that's like his shoes.
Heck yeah, it is. That's all. Was that in Lee's class?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff the Ninja. Way to go. I love the design, dude.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, Scott.
Heather Rose and Liliana.
Heather Rose and Liliana. All right, ladies.
All right, so we both did 2 each.
Yes.
So here's my first one.
That is cool, man. And does your character, hold on 1 second. Does your character have a name?
Yeah, her name is Elaine.
I love it. Great job on both views. That came out very cool.
Here's my second.
Ooh, tell me what's going on there.
He's sort of a squid octopus creature.
I love it. So is this like your villainous creature?
He's sort of like at times he can be kind of villainous, and at times he can just be really gentle and nice. He's neutral.
He's neutral. That works. Very cool. I like the characters, man. All right.
My first one.
I love that. Great job on both views. Super cool.
He doesn't have a name yet, but this is Flo.
Ooh, yes. I love the antenna we have going on. So it kind of looks to me like a cosmic deer.
It is sort of.
It looks awesome. I love the shapes. So did the lines help kind of construct like the overall proportions of your character? Give it a little structure to it. Those are awesome, guys. Thank you, ladies. Very cool designs.
Here's Samantha.
What's up, man? That's cool. Tell me about yours.
So mine's name is Connor, and he's a regular person, just saying. And so he's the person who gets washed up on the island.
Awesome.
And so, yeah.
So that's your main character. I love the proportions and stuff also. It's a great job on front view and profile view.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what are we going to next?
Carson?
What's up, dude?
Mine is like, he's really smart, but he's also like a pyromaniac. You can see there's like wires on his belt and stuff.
Yes.
He's got like lighters and knives and stuff that he carries all over the place.
So does he shoot fire out of like wrist, like cannons or something?
Yeah, he's got like these like watches that probably do something. I don't really know what they're gonna do yet. Probably something to do with like exploding things or something electronic.
I love it. I mean, how could you not love exploding things? That's cool. Nice job on your main character, man.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right, going to David.
David, what's up, buddy?
I don't have a full piece of paper, but this is what I drew.
That's okay, dude. That looks great. So did it help?
Cartoony.
You what?
I tried to go more cartoony.
I think you did great, dude. I love the fact that you've got like some even height above the head, and that works, especially with the torso. Do the lines help kind of construct your proportions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does your character have a name?
His name's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. I dig it, man. We got Jeff the Ninja, and then we have Jeffrey. Very cool. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, going to Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Okay, so it took me a few times to figure out how I was going to do my character in a profile. Its wings have, oops. So it took me a little while to figure out how to do my character in profile view.
Mm-hmm.
Since its wings have like a super thin depth.
Yeah.
But I finally figured it out by looking at my character from the side length of the paper. And so it was kind of with one wing in perspective. So there's this, like that.
That came out great.
Shoulders. I'm going to do the view from the back now.
All right, man.
And it'll kind of be similar to this because I kind of had to put it in the middle because this is what I looked at.
Yeah.
At the top of my paper to look like that, and that looks like this. So.
I hear you. Good job, man. It's not easy to do. You did great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kat.
Next up is Soren.
Soren.
So I drew the monkey you were drawing, Ben, and then I also drew like a motorbike guy who just jumped over 10 million. He just jumped over water, and is in the air, and he's doing a stunt when he's in the air, and the stunt is he's doing a handstand on the seat.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
That is very cool, man. Good job on all views all the way around. I love the story behind it. Thank you, Soren.
You're welcome.
Here's Amin.
Yo, Amin.
I didn't have time to make paper, so I have to discount paper. And here's a random person that I just drew, and I don't know who it is. I don't really know.
That's okay. You know what would be cool too is like, all right, so take that random character that you just drew and then do him like a profile view. See how that comes out. Because you got kind of like a 3.5 head composition there, and see what he looks like from the side.
You can just see this right here.
Yeah. Good job, dude.
Okay.
Way to think on the fly.
Oh, wait. Have you seen Scott and Smash yet?
No.
You haven't seen Scott and Smash?
No. You'll have to enlighten me on this.
This is from Rayanne's class, and I made Scott in Smash because I couldn't draw him
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna be playing some.
Scott is now immortalized on the
I
Nintendo
told him that's
Switch.
probably the most accurate I've seen.
That is like, I don't, Scott, do you understand like the level of like immortalization that that Amin just did for you?
That's awesome.
I mean, that is amazing. Way to go, dude. Very cool. I'm super impressed. I am very impressed. We're going to make a Scott
Next
date
up is
coming up.
Amelia.
Amelia.
Hi. Where's mine?
Sweet. Wow, look at that.
And back with an
That is
extra.
great job, man. Can I see that one more time? Can you put the character up one more time for us?
Here's
Yeah, right there. Wow. Great job. Amelia. Love it, man. Did the lines help?
you.
Did the lines kind of help give you some idea of proportion, especially when you're kind of turning different views?
Yeah, a lot.
Very awesome. Glad that helped, man. Good job, Amelia. All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm going back to Jack. I see his hand up.
Yes, sir, Jack.
I added carrots.
Let me see the carrots. Nice. Because what is Bugs Bunny without any carrots, right? That's awesome, dude. Well done, Jack. Well done, sir. All right, guys.
Thanks.
So excellent job on kind of getting our character design out. You can see how we have, when we set out these kind of proportion lines, how it helps us get an idea of what we look at in different views, right? Gives us a little bit of structure. Again, I'm going to say Chuck Redux, right? R-E Ducks, D-U-C-K-S, right? This is his second autobiography. This is great stuff. A lot of the drawings that I showed you with how Chuck did this very same thing came out of this book. You can check that out. Your local library might have it, or I think Amazon does. It's one of my favorites. So as we get into, you guys all did a great job. We're going to get into next week, and we're going to build off this. So you'll see the full class schedule by Sunday, and you'll know what we're kind of getting into when we start to develop a little bit more of our story, kind of leading up to our own cartoon. And then next week, I'm also going to add in probably the Thursday class. I'm gonna recommend flip books that you can order off Amazon, or you can make your own out of Post-it notepads. But I'm gonna tell you what that is, because it's a couple of weeks out. But that way, if you guys had wanted to order those, you could do it. It's not too expensive. Obviously, ask your parents. So great job today. I love all the characters, all the character design on our path to making our own cartoon. You guys did fantastic. I will be on tonight at 6 p.m. Central to the Chuck Jones Facebook Live page, doing a tour of the studio, painting Dino and some other stuff. If you guys have absolutely nothing else to do and want to see some ridiculousness that we do on a daily basis. So have a great afternoon. Great to see you all, and I will see you next week. Later, dudes.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.